time, but from the very short time I've known you, you've come across to me as a very sweet and loving person. I'm very glad that Alistair's found you, and I'm sure he's in good hands. And in reply to Mr. Leung's words, Mr. Leung was very generous when he said it's the mom who had all the hard work shaping and molding what Jane is. I'm sure, Mr. Leung, you played a great part in shaping and molding Jane into what a wonderful, fine woman she is. Now, back to Alistair. Now, I'm sure you all expect that I would dish out stories of Alistair's drunken and crazy escapades to embarrass him in front of his family and friends. Well, I'm above that. I won't talk about the time when a seriously drunk Alistair hopped onto a bulldozer in a construction site, telling his mates he'd give them a lift home. And of course, it would be beneath me to tell you about the time when Alistair passed out of all places in the middle of a wet market in the dead of night. And of course, it would be completely ungentlemanly of me if I were to discuss about the many occasions how, after a hard night's drinking, Alistair would go back to his clinic, plug himself with a pack of IV fluids, and sleep so that he could rehydrate and sober up in time for his morning shift. That, of course, would be completely out of order if I were to discuss that. Instead, since I understand that most of Alice's friends present here tonight is from Melbourne and knows him from Melbourne, I thought I'd tell you a bit more about his pre-Melbourne days. Now, back then in primary school, Alistair was this overgrown kid in our class. Big, rowdy, loud, and I'm afraid a bit of a bully. He kept telling everyone that someday he'd become a doctor. No one believed him. But nobody said anything for fear of having Alistair practicing his taekwondo on them. And ladies and gentlemen, I must confess, it is this fear that I befriended him in the first place. Hence, we became great friends. Now in school, Alistair excelled in mathematics, which he put to good use playing cards with his friends during class. Well, but for the rest of his school days, he skipped so much class that any impression of Alistair is at best hazy. But I do recall this occasion when he left his mark during arts and craft lesson. We were once asked, I believe, to design and produce a clay teapot. That, I believe, was the most difficult task. We spent weeks on it, designing, molding, painting, firing the teapots, a lot. Alistair? Well, he just kept on playing cards. Then on the morning when the teapots were due, Alistair showed up with a fine-looking specimen of a teapot. The arts master was most suspicious and quizzed Alistair. "Is this yours?" asked Mr. Leung. "Yes," Alistair replied. "No, I mean, did you make this yourself?" "Yes," Alistair answered affirmatively. "How?" the arts master inquired. "I pressed a button," came the reply. "What?" exclaimed the arts master. Alistair explained. "I pressed the button, in went the clay dough, out came the finished teapot. My grandfather owns a factory that does these things, you see." Well, needless to say, Alistair failed that assignment, but hey, he got a good story out of it, eh? Well, I got a good story out of it, maybe. Now, Alistair left from Melbourne halfway through his 5th form, too scared to sit his Hong Kong public examinations. But that did not stop him from saying to us that had he sat those exams, he would have gotten straight A's. As usual, no one believed him. In Australia, as we all know, Alistair finished school and went to med school. Countless flaming Lamborghinis and partying later, he graduated and became Dr. Ma. Now, for Alistair's parents, and understand Alistair's grandfather, that was the most proud day. Which reminds me of a story about this time when Alistair's dad had the following telephone conversation with a stranger who rang his place. The stranger said, "Hello, I'd like to speak to Dr. Ma, please." Alistair's dad said, "We have 4 Dr. Ma's here. My father, me, my daughter, and my son." The stranger tried again. "Dr. A. Ma?" "We have 2 Dr. A. Ma's," the proud father replied. "Dr. Arthur Ma, that's me, and Dr. Alistair Marr, my son. Well, Alistair, despite your family and parents being very proud of you, I think your friends know best. I've said this on more than one occasion, and I will say it again on your big day. If I were ill, I would not trust you to treat me. I've taken an unofficial poll amongst your friends. I think most of them agreed that if they were ill, they'd rather see someone else. But seriously, and there is a serious point to this, despite all your crazy antics, Alistair, you are a great, true, and loyal friend. Now, Jane, Alistair, I'm sure, and I genuinely believe this, he's become a better man after knowing you. But as Pastor Ang has told you, don't try to change your partner. So let him be crazy and let him do his wild things, but at the end he'll come home and be a loving husband. Now, and Alistair, I think the fact that many of your closest friends have come afar to be with you on your biggest day is testament to how truly a good friend you are. Now, speaking personally, despite me not trusting with you and your doctoring skills, you are one of the very few people I trust my life with. I'm very grateful for your friendship and am most honored to play this very small part I had on your big day. Now, lastly, I think I'd like to propose a toast, and this is on behalf of Martin and myself. To Jane and Alistair, I think the American rappers have it. You, Alistair, you are a brother from a different mother. And Jane, I'm glad that we have a sister from a different mother. To both of you, I wish you good health, plenty of things to laugh about, and many babies. Cheers!
For Jane. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid, no, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, stand by me, stand by me. The skies that we look upon should tumble and fall. All the mountains should crumble to the sea. I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, stand by me, stand by me. Thank you. stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever there's trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for being here tonight at Jane and my wedding reception. I hope you have enjoyed your evening. We've tried to put in a few surprises with songs and a bit of dancing. We certainly have enjoyed our evening and our day, and it's all because of your presence. It would not have been as enjoyable a day if it wasn't for all of you. It was very important for us to share our special moment with all those present. And I think certainly the both of us felt that today was definitely our most special day of our lives. There is actually a lot of people we need to thank. The list does go on a little bit, but please bear with me. First of all, I'd like to thank those of you who have traveled from afar to be with us here today, as well as tonight. Our guests have come in from all parts of the world. This includes the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, and China. And we cannot express our gratitude enough. Secondly, the people I'd really like to thank is for those who have helped out with the wedding. Eliza and Joanna, thank you for helping organize today, as well as doing all the pre-wedding arrangements. Cliff, Leanne, and Ern, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my two brother-in-laws now actually, and my sister for helping out with numerous errands. Also, Kat, for being our MC tonight, thank you very much. Thank you. The photo and the video crew, you've done a great job. The highlights were fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you to Grand Hyatt staff as well. You guys made the night run very smoothly. To the bridesmaids, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for being with Jane while I wasn't here before. Especially to Julia, a matron of honor. Thank you very much for looking after Jane, keeping her calm, less stressed. I wouldn't say stress-free. And Veronica, who helped with the rundown of the whole night. Everything went so smoothly because of Veronica, so thank you very, very much. My groomsmen, thank you. Thank you, my boys, for being here for me, helping with the preparations, being here in general, supporting me through my good times and bad times, and to stop me from running away. Not that it ever crossed my mind. I could not have done this without you, though. Thank you very much. My new father and mothers, John and Liz Leung, thank you very much for raising up such a wonderful daughter and allowing her to marry me. I will love her and I will cherish her. I'm not sure about the Chanel bits as per Martin. but I will definitely take care of her. You will not need to worry at all. I sincerely hope that you can feel as though you have gained another son instead of losing a daughter. To my parents, Arthur and Pauline Ma. Mom and Dad, thank you for raising me up to be the man I am. I don't know what that says, but I'm sure bringing me up was not easy. And I'm sure we've had a few rough patches, and